Welcome back to WWE 2K15 Showcase CM Punk John Cena on the PS5. It is time for SummerSlam 2011. Who is the true champion? Let's go. Now, I don't want to spend this whole video series going over everything that they did wrong, because there were things that they did right, and bringing back CM Punk for SummerSlam is a thing they did right. That makes sense. Here comes the game. Triple H. And oh look, a guest referee thing in a video game. Hopefully 2K22 can do that. That'd be nice. But yes, bringing back Punk for SummerSlam when you were still having to sell pay-per-views before the network, when they were still 50 or 60 bucks on pay-per-view. Of course, you bring back a name like CM Punk for SummerSlam.
Please welcome your special guest referee for this next match, the Chief Operating Officer of the WWE, Triple H.
Ladies and gentlemen, Triple H is the Chief Operating Officer of the WWE, and he has put himself in charge of perhaps the most important match in WWE history.
Yeah, with the game in there, we are guaranteed that at the end of the match, there will only be one undisputed WWE champion.
Now, there was one thing they did in between Punk leaving and returning in that week and change there, and they had CM Punk invade the Comic-Con panel for Mattel, where you had Triple H on that panel. Like, that was genius. But that was the one thing they did, and then, oh, back on TV. Because at that point in 2011, having to be on TV was the most important thing to WWE. Like, they didn't understand the power of the internet in 2011. Even though Zack Ryder got super over in 2011, on the internet, they're like, nah, that's a fluke. That's not a real thing. But now, you see in 2021, the power of the internet sold out that arena in Chicago on the rumor of CM Punk. Like, that wasn't even an acknowledged on TV thing, really. They didn't say, hey, CM Punk's gonna be here. It was the implication was enough to sell out a 15,000 seat arena, which is wild. But
CM Punk said some very controversial things about Triple H and his family, but Triple H claims that he is going to call this matchup down the middle here tonight.
I just can't imagine saying the types of things that Punk said to the guy that's about to referee your title match.
It's time to play the game. But yeah, so even though Zack Ryder got himself over on the internet, they got real, like, salty on that. And we're like, alright, sure, here's your US title push, but don't worry, we're gonna bury you later with the whole Eve and John Cena thing and the Kane off the ramp, and yeah, you know how that goes. Like, we don't want you in this spot where the fans are constantly chanting for, we want Ryder, like, during your whole show. Not cool. But, they did that one thing at Comic-Con, and that was good. And having CM Punk back for SummerSlam on pay-per-view, which you're buying in 2011, is good. But they could have utilized that time in between mid-July and the end of August to have CM Punk off TV, have guys chasing him down to try to get him to come back to fight them. Like, there are options you could have done. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, but even at the time, I was annoyed. I'm like, no, he shouldn't be on TV right now. In this build-up, you could have made it more of a mystery and gotten more mainstream attention in doing so, and they didn't do that. So, of course, John Cena.
This is where I started. I used to walk the concourse in this place. In gimmick.
The question is, which one of these champions will be defending the WWE title the next time we come to you on pay-per-view in 5 weeks for Night of Champions?
Well, whether you like John Cena or not, everybody respects him.
Everybody? Really? So, that aside, the fact that they went this path with it and the ending of this particular match, which was a giant oh my god, like out of left field type thing at the time, was intriguing, but just the constant ball dropping after that is where things got very murky in how they handled it. So, like, I wouldn't have done a dual title thing. I think there are other avenues you could have gone down to make that a more intriguing, like, will he or won't he come back? He is our champion, and don't crown an interim champion in the meantime. Just don't have a champion. Just push your IC or your US guy, have all the main event guys chasing that in the interim in those couple of weeks. But no, they had to have everything on TV, so you only actually had CM Punk off your TV show for one singular week, which is not.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest set for one fall is for the undisputed WWE action! Introducing the participants first, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing 222 pounds, WWE Champion, CM Punk! And his opponent, from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing 240 pounds, he is WWE Champion,
And you can hear a similar John being called by Justin Roberts on Dynamite every week now.
For the first time ever, we have two WWE champions battling it out to crown one champion here at SummerSlam.
The atmosphere here is electric. Did you hear that ovation for CM Punk? Unbelievable.
This match is so important that Triple H, the game, the special guest referee, to make sure that this thing is called down the middle and that we crown one champion at the end of this match tonight.
You're right about that. Triple H is guaranteed there will be a single WWE champion.
And Triple H taking all the precautions necessary to make sure both athletes are ready to go. Cena, Punk make history tonight at SummerSlam.
I do like the old school, like, if you're going to have a title fight, I like the old school, make sure they don't have any foreign objects on their person. That is a very just old school type thing, and it's great in wrestling. Like, it's an actual fight, even though it's not an actual fight. But, yes, there are so many other options I feel like you could have gone with in that little interim there, and they didn't. They were like, nope, back on TV, because we don't believe in the power of the internet in 2011. Like, that was before the network, that was before they did a thing with Tout, that was before a lot of things in 2011. But, you know, even guys who got over on the internet, like a Zack Ryder, they were like, nah, like, look back at that year and what they had on their YouTube versus what Ryder was doing, and then look how they changed their entire YouTube strategy post-2011. The influence of Zack Ryder on guys today is still felt in that being able to use the internet to your advantage and just change the game entirely for a lot of talent. So kudos to him on that. And now he is your GCW champion, Matt Cardona. So, you know, doing big things. Loving it. Now, meanwhile, we had CM Punk here on this week's Dynamite, just kind of doing the same thing as he did on Rampage, more or less. So, obviously, it is now Friday, and the new Rampage is tonight. Will we see a CM Punk on that show? It is pre-taped this week, not live, so that remains to be seen. But still, like, I have a good feeling going forward, as long as everyone involved can stay themselves healthy and not injured. Because injuries can happen at any time. You never know what's going to happen. So, hopefully everyone stays healthy, heading towards All Out. I don't know if they're going to have Punk wrestle before All Out. Personally, again, it's the old school mentality of you're trying to sell a pay-per-view. It's not on a network. It is $60 or whatever it is, and you're going to have to sell it, right? So, of course, you want to keep guys off TV, not wrestling on TV, but still having their angles be moved forward, but you're paying money to see them in the ring wrestling. So that, to me, is, you know, the old school mentality of, hey, we got to put butts in seats. We have to sell pay-per-view and tickets and whatever else. And to do that, we promote on TV, and then, nice. And then you have the big match on, I'm flying, on pay-per-view, which makes sense to me if that's what you got to do and you don't have a network to do it with. So, I guess a kudos on them doing that old school deal there. I think it still works and can still work, even in the internet age and where we're currently at right now. But I've been watching for a long time, since the mid-90s. So that's kind of where my head's at on a lot of things. Like, not quite on a Jim Cornette level, but still. A lot of things where I feel like could be done better if you do them more old school. Like, I've seen folks complaining, oh, where's Andrade? He's lost in the mix. And I'm like, no, he's working Pac on pay-per-view. You don't have him on TV, you have him on pay-per-view. working Pac, right? So, of course, you build to it with promos or brawls or whatever, but you have the match on the pay-per-view. Like, that makes sense to me. Do a suicide dive. Is that a signature here, or is that a finisher, or is that a just do one? I did one. I didn't count. Bro, I didn't count. Come on. Hold on. Let's check our... with a finisher icon, press X to do a front face lock. Hold L2 arts. Oh, okay. It's leaning against the ropes. Like, I dove. He dove there. But they didn't count. They didn't count, John Boy. They didn't count. Come in here and face the best in the world. And that's not... I mean, look. That was a Northern Lights suplex, but not what I wanted. So, grapple. Grapple. Drag to the ropes. Flip on the ropes. And then hit triangle for the oh my god suicide dive. Like, I legit did one, it didn't count because it wasn't part of the game's plan, which is fine. And even being someone who likes to see an old school mentality, having everyone.
Punk taking out Cena, and Punk down as well, and now the official king, Triple H, going to start the count.
And CM Punk's head crashed right into that wall after it crashed into Cena. What?
The referee's it. Referee.
Double count.
It's a count of like 8. I mean, what happens if both men get counted out here?
Don't count him out. Wait a minute. What's Triple H doing? He's throwing Cena back into the ring.
Well, I think Triple H wants to make sure that we indeed crown one champion here tonight.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before.
You got to applaud this move by Triple H.
Man, if you can't...
The rise of the suicide dive and everyone doing the suicide dive is like, at a certain point, it's not special anymore because everyone does it. Much kind of like the moonsault, where all right, you had a guy doing the moonsault, which was at that point special, and all of a sudden everyone's doing the moonsault, and it's like, yeah, but it doesn't need to be everybody. Like, it's crazy. Anyhow. 80% here, so we're going to get up to 100. We're going to hopefully pin John Cena and make that happen. And then get a cutscene with Big Sexy Kevin Nash. Stick the winner. Stick the winner. So that whole thing is where things went a little bit sideways for that storyline, but what are you going to do? So let's do this. Let's get John Boy into the corner. Don't reverse. Don't reverse it! I hate you. I hate you guts. Come on, Cena. Too fast. Put him in the hard way. Look, really? On that, John Cena? On that? That was your pinfall? That was your brilliant idea? Oh, I hate you. No. I need you to get hit by my signature, John Cena. So, please and thank you, get into the corner and get hit by my sig behind me into the corner. And then the Bulldog. And then... my good friend, you can go to sleep. GTS for a John Cena. Here it is. Center of the ring. Nowhere to go. Now, I will say, with Punk in AEW, I want to see...
He's got him! He's got him! No, he doesn't! Cena stays in it! Incredible! The resilience of Cena!
I don't know, that looked like a mighty long or slow count. The game's saying that Cena got his shoulder up before the count of 3, and Punk is frustrated.
Yes, me too. But open that forbidden door and give me CM Punk and Kenta. Like, that would be amazing. Please, please do that for me. But also, on that Dynamite promo from this past week, we had the official teasing of one Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan. And I'm like, yeah, that's happening probably, right? Right? They wouldn't say it otherwise. So, again, you sell out a building based on the teaser because of the power of the internet. And you could have used that power back then for this whole thing much more effectively than you did, which is just unfortunate all around. All around. But we're at 96, and I must put away John Cena, who wants to hit at signature, and he didn't get it because of the wonky in-game physics. And at least that saved me for something here, but a suplex from John Cena, hurting the legs, And now he hits that 5-knuckle, or just sits there and yep, here it comes. All right, he wants that attitude adjustment. Can I avoid it? I did. I did. A huge counter. Into the corner, John Boy. Turn you around. I forget how to do that. Yes. All right. Analog stick. Analog stick. Hit. What? Bro. Fine. It got back to a finish again, so fine. We'll do a submission here on the ropes for a hot second. And then break. And then I'm flying. And then he's got to come back. No. Triangle. Ha-ha. Go to sleep, John Cena. Go to sleep. Boom. But yes, the opening of forbidden doors here for guys like Punk and guys like Daniel Bryan could be absolutely amazing. And we know that Bryan wanted to work guys in Japan to begin with, so that makes a lot of sense to go to AEW to do so. We got Mox fighting the leader of the Bread Club here at All Out, Kojima. So.
And look at this! Look at this! Wait a minute! Punk wins, but Cena had his foot on the rope, King!
I saw that! But I think Triple H did not see that!
And this is the part where I cut the audio from the video because Cult of Personality is constantly playing here, and YouTube has decided, hey man, that's not cool, you can't have music even with the commentary talking over the music, and therefore, sure, I could dispute it. I could go say, hey, YouTube, this is fair use, but at a certain point, you kind of just gotta go, alright, let me just cut the audio for like, you know, under a minute of the video. CM Punk, your undisputed champion, Triple H raising his hand, and then it is official. Punk has won it, but here comes big sexy Kevin Nash as Lawler can't believe it. He can't believe that CM Punk is the current champion. He never thought he'd see the day of the game, raising the hand of CM Punk. And the audio returns in about 3, 2, 1. OMG! Kevin Nash. Thought he was dead, LOL.
Who the hell is that?
What do you mean, who the hell is that? It's Kevin Nash!
What is he doing here?
Oh my God, look out!
What is Kevin Nash doing here?
Ruining things. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what he's done. He's just destroyed the undisputed champion.
Triple H he's shocked. And now Nash is leaving. And look at this, King. Alberto Del Rio, Mr. Money in the Bank. He's going to cash in. He's going to cash in on Punk.
You gotta be kidding me. What an opportune time for Del Rio to cash this in.
Oh no. Now I'm playing as Del Rio. I don't want to do because he's a scumbag, but hey, here we are. Oh boy. So yes, this is where it's harder to go sideways and you're like, oh no. Oh no. They're really just doing things here. What? Look, man, as much as I would love to right the wrongs of history, I must finish this matchup, unfortunately. So, and his finisher's not a pinfall, it's the cross arm breaker. I can't, like... By a pinfall. I screwed it up. I don't care. It's wrong. The champion.
Unbelievable! Alberto Del Rio has just become the new WWE champion.
Oh man, I can't believe what I just saw.
Yeah, there was definitely some disbelief here to go, oh wait, you did what now? You put it on that boring guy? That scumbag? Great. Fantastic. It's his destiny. Destiny. I mean, look, that's the nature of Money in the Bank. I get it. I do. But still, ridiculous. Next up, a #1 contenders match in the Great White North. That'll be Monday. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos right here. I'll see you next time, and I'm out.